Is 50 Cent's cautionary tale the hidden truth behind the struggles of rap legends like Nas and Jay Z today? Today we're diving deep into the KRS-One Effect and uncovering why 50 Cent believes it's a must-know warning for every rapper out there. Is this the key to understanding why legends like Nas and Jay Z might be facing some serious roadblocks? Trust me, you don't want to miss this breakdown. Let's get into it. First up, let's shine the spotlight on KRS-One, the lyrical heavyweight who revolutionized hip-hop with his raw talent and profound messages. From the iconic Criminal Minded to his evolution as a musical educator, KRS-One didn't just tell stories. He transformed street tales into lessons for life. But what's the real impact of his journey on today's rap game? 50 Cent dropped some major insight during his chat with The Breakfast Club. 50 said, "I've seen artists get lost in teaching people. KRS was my favorite artist, period. During The Bridge Is Over, you could feel that aggression in the early stages and how it resonated with me. When Charlemagne chimed in by saying, 'and then he got too deep,' 50 hit back by saying, 'because he was the teacher, he started saying so much.'" This exchange perfectly demonstrates the KRS-One effect, when artists become so wrapped up in their messages that they risk losing their ability to entertain. It's a delicate balance, and navigating it could either launch a rapper's career or lead to a crash landing. In another eye-opening interview, 50 Cent threw down a serious warning for Nas and other highly intelligent rappers about this very phenomenon. 50 said, "Look, he was ahead of us. Nas had what he had, and I was looking at him going, you gotta be careful. That's because he was smarter than the music he was releasing. When that happens, you can teeter into where KRS is at. When KRS started being the teacher and not criminal-minded, because criminal-minded, there's nothing better than that to me. That period was different. That energy was nuts." This insight is crucial because it highlights how artists like Nas, celebrated for their intellect, risk becoming too advanced for their own good. 50 continued by saying, "When KRS started being the teacher and not criminal-minded, that's when the shift happened." Here's the kicker to what 50 said. When you focus too much on delivering your message and not enough on the music itself, you run the risk of alienating your audience. Rappers need to remember that hip-hop was born as a form of entertainment, and that should always remain at its core. Now let's shift gears to Jay Z and his album 444. 50 Cent didn't hold back when sharing his thoughts, claiming that Jay had gotten a little too bougie with his sound. 50 said, "Hip-hop's culture is connected to the youth culture. So you look at it and go, it's cool for me, like in my car, I'm listening to it. But the kids, I don't see them actually listening to it. I felt like Carlton Banks when I was listening to it." This statement perfectly illustrates how the KRS-One effect can manifest in today's music landscape. While Jay-Z's message about generational wealth and personal growth is undeniably important, it risks flying over the heads of the younger generation in a way that his earlier work never would have. Much like KRS, who evolved to focus more on teaching, Jay finds himself at risk of sounding like he's talking down to his audience. The key takeaway here is striking the right balance between message and music. As 50 Cent puts it, he just had the maturity bleed off into the material. Artists need to be aware of their audience and ensure their message doesn't overshadow the music. It's all about creating a vibe that resonates with listeners on multiple levels. Now let's talk about what this means for the new wave of artists stepping into the game. They must take a page from the KRS-One effect to navigate the treacherous waters of being too cerebral. Today's landscape is bursting with young talent eager to carve out their space, but they must not forget that entertainment is the lifeblood of hip-hop. 50 Cent's words hit hard. You gotta be careful. If these artists lean too heavily on teaching or delivering weighty messages, they risk losing their audience. The core of hip-hop has always been about entertaining, and that should never be forgotten. The KRS-One effect stands as a reminder for rappers everywhere. It's all about striking that critical balance between educating and entertaining. Legends like 50 Cent and Jay Z have blazed trails, but it's vital for the next generation to learn from both their triumphs and missteps. Let's dive deeper into how this plays out in today's industry. Many emerging artists possess sharp lyrical skills and a burning desire to tackle social issues, yet they sometimes overlook the fact that their primary role is to entertain. Look at artists like J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. They've mastered the art of storytelling with powerful messages in a way that keeps listeners engaged. They get it. If you want to captivate an audience, you have to balance your lyrics with a sound that hooks them and keeps them coming back for more. Take J. Cole's KOD for example. He dives deep into topics of addiction and personal struggle, but he does it with catchy hooks and relatable stories. This approach guarantees that his audience isn't just absorbing the message, they're vibing to the music too. Now on the flip side, we see artists who get lost in their own messages. When music turns into a lecture rather than an engaging performance, it risks losing the vital emotional connection. This is where the KRS-One Effect truly takes center stage. And let's not overlook the critical role of producers and beat makers in this whole equation. A fire beat can elevate a song's message. Think about producers like Metro Boomin and Pharrell Williams. They craft beats that don't just accompany the lyrics, they elevate them, making the songs not only memorable, but downright enjoyable. When the production hits just right, it can make the heaviest of topics feel amazing. Another crucial aspect to consider is the evolution of social media and streaming platforms. Artists today have access to their audience, allowing them to gauge reactions in real time. If a song leans too heavily into teaching without enough entertainment value, artists can witness that drop in engagement almost instantly. They must adapt and learn from that feedback. Rappers like Lil Baby and DaBaby have mastered this dynamic, creating music that resonates deeply while also tackling serious subjects. Take DaBaby's chart-topping hit Rockstar for instance. In it, he reflects on a traumatic event that nearly costed him his life and freedom, but he transitions back into a catchy hook that keeps the listeners engaged. DaBaby rapped, "She know what I do. She know 4 I run from an end, I'ma pull it out and shoot. PTSD, I'm always waking up in cold sweats like I got the flu. My daughter a G, she saw me kill an N in front of her before the age of 2. And I'll kill another N too, for I let another N do something to you. Long as you know that, don't let nobody tell you different. Daddy love you." This is a perfect example of how to navigate themes into music without overdoing it. DaBaby strikes that balance perfectly, ensuring the message hits hard while still keeping the vibe alive. So what do y'all think? Do you resonate with 50 Cent's cautionary words about Nas and other intellectually driven rappers? How do you view the balance between message and music in hip-hop today? Personally, I feel like many rappers are missing the mark when it comes to this crucial balance today. Sure, getting too sophisticated in your lyrics can risk losing your audience, just as 50 Cent pointed out. But at the same time, I think a lot of the mainstream artists today fall short when it comes to offering real substance. It's a fine line to walk. And while some artists shine by blending powerful messages with captivating music, others seem to forget the essence of what hip-hop is all about, entertainment. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Let me know what you think. Peace.